Hello, dear friends. In this video, we are going to see about the next important component available in LangChain. So, in the previous videos, we saw other important components which is available in this LangChain framework. We know the purpose of LangChain. So, using LangChain, we can able to integrate other components with LLMs. That's what available in LangChain. It's a Python framework. So in the previous videos, we saw about chain, we saw about memory, and we saw about model available in the important component available in the LangChain. So in this video, we are going to see about the agents present in the LangChain. So this is also an important component present in the LangChain. So when we add, so we know LLM is going to help. It is acting like a brain. So when we add all other components also with this LLM, then the application development will be more meaningful and it will be very easy. So that's what we discussed in the previous video. So here we are going to discuss about agents. So what does agent means? For example, whenever I'm going to give any prompt or any task to the LLM or to my application. So this will be received, and this agent is going to help us in that case. So this agent is a component available in the LangChain, which can think, decide, and take action based on the prompt which we give to this applications. So this all will be happening through the corresponding tools to do those particular tasks. For example, whenever I ask to do some task, for example, I want to do a task, or I want to ask my AI application to develop, to suggest me for a trip, for a vacation trip. So when I am asking to my agent, then it should know to which place to go, which hotel to book, and which where are the places I have to visit, on which day I can visit. All these things need to be decided automatically by the agent, and it has to connect to the different tool to get the answer. So, like in the previous video, we saw about the chain also. So, chain is also, we learned that whenever there is a big task given, it will be dividing the task into small sub-tasks, and it will be completing it one by one sequentially. And we saw some advantages of that as well. So, but not like this chain agents, but in the chain, we have to say the first is subtask is this, the next one is this. So we have to want to define the steps, we want to fix the steps, but agent means it automatically choose what tools to be done, or what tools to be chosen, so what actions to need to be done. All these things will it automatically do based on the input given to the agent. So that is the importance of agent when compared to chain. So in the chain, we have to define all the subtasks, but in agent, it automatically think, decide, and take action based upon the input we give to the agents. So a LangChain agent is also something like an agentic AI, where the model can decide and do some actions, and also it can correspondingly use the particular tools to automate the work. So here is an example for agent listening. So what is the first step happens whenever a user is giving an input, the agent reads the request and it will understand. For example, whether it is needed and whether information, tourist place are needed. So as I gave as a previous example, if I am asking my agent to prepare me a trip schedule, then it should need to check whether on the particular day what is the weather, where are the places. For example, I'm asking that I want to visit Chennai, and I want the agent to suggest some place. So it want the tourist place in Chennai, and which date will be convenient for me, and it says the location. So from my prompt, it needs to observe all these things from my input, and then it has to decide what action are required to do this input. So the agent has to think, okay, to check the weather on a particular day, it needs a weather agent. to suggest the place it needs the knowledge based tool to do to know about the different places available in Chennai. And then, okay, after it decides the steps or what are the action required for the input, then it has to choose the corresponding tools to give the answer. So if I want to know the weather, so the agent should choose, okay, I want the weather tool or weather API. For searching something, I want a knowledge base, so I want search tools. So accordingly, so based upon my input, it will choose the corresponding tools. And then after choosing the tools, it will execute the action using the tools. So for example, it will get the weather on the particular day. So this is an execution. And it will search the places on Chennai. And this is a execution. So after getting the tools, the work will be happen. Then it will combine all the result, give back to the LLM, and the LLM will respond back. So this is what an example. So here is the flow. So whenever a user is giving a request, for example, I'm asking for a trip schedule to visit Chennai. So if that is my user request, then agent receives that input and the agent give the input to the LLM. And LLM will understand the prompt and then it decide what are the tools required to do the particular task. Does it require any calculator or does it require any weather API or does it require any search tool? So it decide all the tools and then agent comes into play. Agent execute that tool and sends it. So after it getting the result, it send back the result to the LLM and the LLM will combine all the results. Say, for example, the weather detail and the tourist place in Chennai, on which day he can travel, which are the place he can travel, and which hotel they can stay. So everything will be done by one particular different tools. So weather will be checked by weather API. Knowledge base will return the tourist place in Chennai. So every tool will return their own answers. So all these results will be collectively given to the LLM and the LLM combine all the results and finally it will give a proper response back to the user by combining all the results as a schedule. It will give it to the answer so that we'll get the proper schedule trip plan for a particular place. So this is how an agent inside LangChain will be working. So, what are the purpose or what are the benefit of having this kind of agent inside the LangChain? Let us see one by one. The first one is goal-oriented execution. So, the agent can able to plan the chains. So, it's this also something like a chain, but in chain we have to define all the subtasks one after the. First, I want a translator, and then I want a summarization, something like that. I have to decide every plan we have to do. But agent here can plan the chain for achieving the particular task. So the agent work with a clear goal in the mind and then it will take the necessary steps to achieve it. So instead of blindly following the instruction given by us one after the other, the agent will think and decide. So that's what in the beginning we saw. An agent can think, decide, and take action. So that's what the specialty of agent. So what do I need to do to reach the goal? So everything, think, plan, action, everything can be done. So here is an example. So user, so based on this thing, first one is user request. So the user is going to give a request, help a student prepare for a Python exam. So that is what given as a input. So how the agent will be thinking. So first, what is according to this key benefit of goal-oriented execution. So what is the goal? Instead of directly giving some random information, the agent will plan step by step to reach the goal to prepare well for the Python exam. So the agent internally asks, what do I need to do to achieve the goal? So the agent's plan will be like for preparing for Python, it first needs the syllabus. So what are the topics to be prepared? And then what are the materials can be chosen to explain the concept simply? And then choose the tools required to execute the programs or whatever it may be. Finally, it can give some practice questions, evaluate the understanding, and finally giving the output. So this is how the agent will be working based on the goal orientation. Sorry, 1 minute. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, so this is about the goal orientation. The next important key benefit is dynamic response. For example, as I told in the previous example, if I'm asking for a trip, so it will dynamically plan. Okay, it needs a weather API. So if the weather API is not working properly, it needs to think the alternative solution for that. So all these things will be automatically planned based upon the input. So observing the environment changes, and accordingly the agent knows how to adapt or react to the particular situation. So this that is the next advantage of using the agent. The next one is statefulness. So the since the agent has memory, and also it take care of the context and the previous interactions, it can able to properly respond. So the agent remember the past interactions and the context. So the answer given to the user will also be very apt. Say for example, here is an interaction. So an academic advisor is helping a student. That's what the scenario is. So the student is saying, I am studying artificial intelligence. So the agent will store in the memory the program of this particular user, or a student one is artificial intelligence. And then the interaction two is I the student is asking, I want a project idea. So already the student, and the statefulness means it should already remember what was the past interaction and the context. So then only when a student is asking, I want project ideas, based upon the course or the program the particular student is studying, then he can able to suggest a proper project idea. So since the student is studying artificial intelligence, then it can give some topics related to artificial intelligence. That is what called as statefulness. And the third interaction, the students give it is asking give one using Python. So already this state remembers the past interactions like artificial intelligence and also the project. So the domain is AI. The student has asked for Python program. So based on that, the agent will develop a Python-based AI chatbot using NLP techniques. So since it is remembering the statefulness, that is the past interaction and the context, you can able to answer the queries in a better way. The third benefit of a agent is robustness. So it can able to handle any kind of exceptions, and it can give an alternative solution for that as well. For example, suddenly if any error is coming, so the agent knows how to handle it. Even though a particular tool is not working, it can able to give another solution to do that. So that is the next benefit. The next key benefit is composition. So the agent knows how to combine or reuse the chains. So chains means already know the bigger task is split it into small subtasks. So agent comfortably know how to reuse or combine the different chains to give the better results. So that's what the agent are built by combining reusable chains. So each chain will be doing one task. So, like for example, agent will combine retrieval chain, then summarization chain, then question answer chain. So, like that, it know how to do the different compositions of this chain, so that we can able to get a better result. So the agent does not decide the tool. The LLM will be deciding the tool, and the agent will be just executing the decision. So this is what actually happened in the agent in the LLM. So let's see the key difference between a chain and the agent. So a chain means a fixed sequence. After this. So we already fixed the sequence. But in agent, it dynamically decide based upon the input it received from the user. For example, if I'm asking for a trip schedule, means it dynamically decide what are the tools required, what are the steps required. So it is dynamic decision. And in the chain, all the steps are predefined. But here, agent will be choosing the steps. Chain will be predictable flow. It know, okay, after this, this will happen. But agent is not like that. It's flexible based upon the current situation and the interaction. It knows how to flexibly produce the more suitable answer for it. So, what can an agent do? It can analyze the user request, decide the tool, use the tool, and interpret the result, and finally give the answer. So, this all happened with the help of LLM. So here is an example as like asking what is the weather today and should I carry an umbrella? It's what the input the agent is getting. So based upon the query, the agent will understand, dynamically decide, okay, to check the weather, we need a weather API. And then reason, what is the reason for checking the weather? To know about the rain. And it want to give the advice. So it will be understanding all these things, dynamically choosing the rules tools, and then gives the combined output more suitable for the user. So, what are the tools used by the agents? Our agents can use tools like search engine, calculator, API. So, a calculator, when if it is using, then accurately it can give the output. In the beginning of the generative AI itself, we learn how generative AI actually works. Whenever we ask any question, it tries to predict the next target word. So that's how a generative AI is working. But when we use a tool, instead of predicting what will be the next token, it calculate the right answer and it will be giving it to the user. So these are the tools used by the agent, calculator, or APIs, databases, document retrievers. All this are used as a tool by the agent. So whenever the user is asking a question, the agent will be giving it to the LLM, understand the tools required for it, and execute the tools that done by the agent, and get the answer, give to the LLM, and the LLM will give the answer as required by the user. So here is what I told you already, right? What is today's weather means? So it will understand, okay, it needs real time data, it needs a weather API to get the answer. So when I ask who was the first Prime Minister of India, means then it should know to go and check the historical data, the knowledge base, and then it will respond back. So here is an example why tools are very important in agent. So here is an example. So when we are asking something, some questions like find to 5, so it may give 25. But if it is a large, complex calculation, sometimes this kind of LLMs are predicting the next word. It may go wrong. The answer given by it may be going wrong. But when we use the tools, it may be exactly giving the answer. So let us see some examples of agents so that you will be very clear about it. So here, as I have explained in other videos, first I'm installing the necessary packages and I'm getting the Grok API key. It's a free key so that we can use our LLM. So we know that we have already discussed. So all the necessary keys, the necessary Python packages are imported from the LangChain. Now here is our LLM. Using this Grok API, we are going to access Llama 3.1 from the cloud, and it is stored in the variable object called LLM. Right now, I'm going to define the tools for the agent. See, when I say at tools, it says specifically that rather than it is a normal function, it is a tool. So that's what given so that it can easily understand it is a tool. Okay, then this is a function which is going to get two input, and what does it specify? The output from this function is going to be a single integer. And then here we are going to give the command so that it can clearly understand this tool is basically to multiply two numbers, and it is doing it's one tool. Say for example, we are using this kind of tool. Okay, we are creating our tool. Now I'm creating an agent. So it is creating, it's a predefined function. It's creating reasoning act. That's what React agent, reasoning action. So to this agent, we are giving what is the LLM and the tools. So here we are using only one tool. So I'm giving the tool name here. So this is how we can create an agent. We can even give multiple tools as well. So here I'm creating another tool and saying to the Python that it is going to be a tool, and this is saying that it's going to produce a integer output, and it is this comment specify that they are going to add two numbers, and it's going to, and here is another tool. So these are our tools we are defining. Here it says it's going to produce a string as an output. So here I am giving a comment. So give basic information about AI topic. So whenever a topic is given as an input, it is saying if machine learning is in the topic, then written machine learning is a subset of AI that learn from data. So that's what learning. Otherwise, it is going to return this. So this is how we are creating another tool. So likewise, we have created as of now three tools. One tool to multiply, one tool to add, and the tool to just given machine learning thing. So here I have stored all these three tools under a variable object called tools. And now for an agent, I'm creating, as I told you, it's a create reasoning action, an agent. I'm giving the LLM also all the tools. So here I have three tools. I'm creating an agent with the three tools. So whenever I give any questions, it will, as I told you in the flow, no, I showed you the flow diagram. So how it is working. So whenever a user is giving a query, it will receive the input, agent sends the prompt to the LLM will be deciding. So here when you make an agent also, it will have LLM and all the required tools. So when a user is going to, so here we say agent or invoke, which means we are going to give a input and also we are going to expect the output from it. And so and the input I'm going to give to this invoke function to execute is I'm saying the message I'm going to give and what is the role it is going to play. It is going to ask it to as a user role, and my query for that is multiply 6 and 7. So that is what the input I'm going to give the agent. So now we know what agent will do. So it will give, so already we have all the components ready inside an agent. So where we have defined an agent. So here is an agent. So it has already LLM and the tools. So here also we are giving the LLM and all the tools are provided. So now based upon this input multiply 6 and 7, it automatically understands which tools to use. I'm not explicitly saying which tool to use multiply 6 and 7, but it automatically goes and does the multiplication. And here I am printing. So the result will be all, the result contains metadata, everything. So among that, I am asking only the message from the back. And from the message, I want only the content. So the result of my multiplication of 6 and 7 is 42. So this kind of output will be there in the result. It gives all kind of information. So I want only the content of the message I'm getting. So here is another message. I'm asking add 10 and 5. I'm not saying the tool, but automatically the agent using the LLM. So here we have defined, no? Where is our agent? So here is an agent with the help of LLM and all the necessary tools. You check out the input, and based on that, it will be choosing the corresponding tool. So we are using three tools for adding, multiplication, and also about explanation about AI. So here another thing I'm doing multiply 7 and 9 and just seeing all the kind of metadata uh, we receive when we create an agent like this. And similarly here also I'm asking agent.invoke. I'm saying the message, the role is user, and what kind of input I'm going to give. And here is the message I'm going to get. So here the content, so we previously said no dot content. So I'm saying only the content alone will. So this content only will be written if I particularly say that dot content. So I'll get the output. So here again I have a while loop until I say exit. This will be executing. So I'm asking the agent. So ask agent. So I'm saying multiply 6 and 7. So it is automatically going and check and getting the corresponding tool, and it is saying the multiplier for 42. And then I say add 6 comma 5. So it is asking, this one, and then it is converting everything to lowercase and checking is it an exit. Until I say exit, it will be continuing, and it is invoking the agent, passing the message, the question. So here is the question. So if I say add 6 and 5, that is what the question given to the agent. It will go choose the LLM and use the corresponding tool, get back the result, and from the result, we are going to display only the content. So this is how an agent will be working. Hope you have got it. Thank you for listening. God bless you.